Hello, everybody. And I'll tell you what, it's Sunday, and guess what? I ain't done nothing today except for I've been working on my podcast, my radio. I was telling Megan before we came on, I was telling her that, so I've been busy doing that, but just a relaxing Sunday, really. It's nice out there. And you've been shopping, didn't you?
Yeah. I know. Worst day to be sat inside was like when it was like 24 degrees outside. Definitely wasn't well planned, but it was a good day.
Good. Because you at the end of the day, you need to go out there because that's what women do. They do shopping and everything, don't they?
Yeah, my bank wasn't too happy with me going out, but I enjoyed it.
Well, there you go. You got to have some shopping therapy, ain't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I never got like going shopping with my wife or anybody, because at the end of the day, they take too long in these shops, and and everything.
To be fair, like I do get that. I do get it. Like, to be fair, like I'm normally quite quick in shops, but some of the shops today I've been taking ages in just because there's because obviously all the shops are open now. Like I'm going through like every aisle, and yeah, I can understand why it is boring.
Oh, yeah. It's all right if it's got like a pub next door or something like that. You can just go to the pub and yeah, of course, isn't it? You just get away with it. Yeah. Anyway, what I want to talk about is about, what kind of music are you into?
Oh, I'm into anything and everything, to be honest.
Right. Okay. So what I want to talk about really is mental health. Sorry, is music good for your mental health?
Okay.
Right.
Well,
now,
no, go on.
Go on, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, obviously, it's a really good question. I think everybody takes music differently, but we'll get into that in a sec.
Okay. So anyway, so what it is, I'm not into all this new stuff, like all the banging stuff or all that lot. I love
the old days.
Be careful what you're saying.
No, I like the oldies too. I'm talking about like 50s, 60s.
Be careful what you're saying. Don't choke on your coke. Right, now, look, listen, right? I'm interested in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and up to the 80s. But the trouble is now, when I felt suicidal or I felt really depressed, I used to, believe it or not, do you know what kind of music I used to like listening to? Have a guess.
Oh, I don't know. Love songs, okay.
Now, you probably laugh at me and think, oh, well, but why love songs? Surely that would get him more depressed and get him more down.
Well, to be honest, when I'm feeling depressed or sad, I put sad music on.
Yeah, you do.
I don't put happy music on when I'm feeling really sad and depressed. I put depressing, sad songs on because I know that some of those songs, as miserable as it sounds, will make me cry, and sometimes I need to just have a cry.
See, now you're the same level as me, and that's why I do it for.
Yep.
Because me, right? Anybody will tell you, if anybody knows me, all I've got to do is just watch something sad on television and I cry. I used to cry to Lassie and about a dog and
Yeah. No, I'm like that. See, if an animal dies, it's game over for me. I don't mind if people die in films, but see if an animal dies in a film, like I literally sobbed at Marley and Me. Sobbed.
Yeah, there you go. See, so, but the trouble is, sometimes you'll see when people get really kind of like really depressed, get down and everything, they usually, right, they usually 70% of people who suffer with mental health listen to soft music for therapy. How about that?
I mean, I can see why. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, I listen to sad music because when you're in that state, the lyrics seem to relate more to what you're going through. That's why I do it. But I have known myself as well, like if I'm sad and depressed, I just put chilled music on, like tranquility music in the background. But I think I'm really surprised that number's really low, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. I am. I'm a sort of a person. Like watching a film. It's like I'm watching. Oh, what's the film at the moment called? On the telly. I'm watching this film on telly at the minute, and I can't remember what it's called. What's Kindergarten Cop, right?
Right.
I'm watching Kindergarten Cop with Arnold in it. Arnie and all that lot in it. Right? No, at the end, it makes me cry because I'm a softie. And the trouble is, sometimes when we come to a point in our life where we feel really down, we feel really depressed, then
Mhm.
we sometimes we use music for therapy.
Yeah.
Mind, the mental health group said that 75% out of people who suffer with mental health actually helps the music helps them to get through.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that, to be honest. I would agree that music can help you get out of it. With you saying about the film, I remember at a low point, like my mum actually put The Green Mile on,
All
right?
right, yeah,
And I'd
yeah.
never seen it before, right? So I know it's a really long film, and honest, like at the end of it, I was sobbing. And see, like some things like that, like my mind will keep a hold of the things that make me cry. And as I say, it's very similar to you. If I'm feeling like I need a good cry, I will just put a film on that will make me cry, because then I can blame it on the film. Then I can blame it on the film for me crying and not my life.
How about Ghost? Have you ever watched Ghost? Where
I don't think so.
you never watched Ghost?
I don't think so. I may
You
have done. I just don't remember.
you should watch Ghost.
Is it
With
going to make me
Patrick
cry?
Swayze. It's a good film. It's a good film. It's a really, really good. Ask your friends. Say, have you seen Ghost?
Right.
Or
Okay.
whatever. Or there's loads of films, but every time a film comes on, you know, people do get emotional. No,
Mhm.
there's one thing on here. Um, no, there's sort of films, right? This is what people reply to. So what mine did is this. Mine's a mental health charity. You probably know, okay?
Mhm.
So, so what they did was they did a survey, and what they did was they told everybody to pick a film. Then they kind of like surveyed it. So here we
Mhm.
go, right?
Okay.
Um, 16,000 people out of 20,000 people picked Lassie. Lassie is like
Okay.
about a dog. All right. I
Mhm.
remind you of these because you're young, right?
Okay.
So Lassie is about a dog. Okay.
Okay.
Then it was um, 15,000 out of 20,000 picked EastEnders.
Picked what?
EastEnders.
Okay. Okay. That's a bit of a
Don't
weird one.
I don't understand that one. Then you got down the bottom. You got what else is it? What's it? And Harry Met Sally. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. Ghost.
Mhm.
Oh, and All right. Okay. Oh well, forget about the rest. It's not. They're not.
See,
What,
like
10 o'clock? 10 o'clock
mine.
news.
I
What?
suppose that could make you cry, depending on what's on. Oh, see, like the ones for me, they are quite modern. So you've got like A Fault in Our Stars, 5 Feet Apart is a really sad one. Trying to think what else. There's a lot, but I'm more modern ones, to be honest. Marley and Me, obviously, I know that's quite an old one.
Yeah,
I Am Legend's another one. As stupid as that
that's good,
sounds, because
isn't it?
it's a really good film. But see, when the dog dies, game over. Game
Yeah,
over.
it is. Yeah. I feel sorry for my popcorn then. Yeah. Yeah. Um. So, do you ever, you know, do you ever kind of like, it's like, what you know, in your job or whatever you do, because you
Mhm,
work for Sky, don't you?
mhm.
See, I still remember. See, um, do you ever kind of like when you go to work and all that, and you think, and you get depressed because the phone keeps going, or you can't, people shouting to you on the
Mhm.
kind of like on the phone having to go at you. Do you ever kind of think, oh, damn it, I can't deal with this, and you just walk out?
Not so much walk out, no. To be fair, I don't really like. I tend to take. I'm good at resilience now with them kind of calls. To be honest, like I used to be really bad, but see now, like before I start, I will actually put like calming music in the background. And if I do get a call where I feel, somebody is like really like hit a trigger, I will just take a break and just go away. And if I feel like I can't continue, then I'll speak to a manager. But normally I just kind of, I'll go for a cigarette after it, or I'll go and take some fresh air and just be like, do you know what? They were shouting at me because they're upset with something. I can't take it personal. And I think it's just trying to build that resilience that they're not actually shouting at you, they're shouting at the situation that they're in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's the trouble, though, isn't it? Because your job is like a pressured job. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever kind of like when you go home? What do you put when you get through the door? What do you do? Put the music on, or do you put the telly on just to blank it all out?
It kind of depends, if I'm honest, because I'm working from home at the moment. It is really hard to separate it, right? So obviously, I work in one room, and obviously, I then finish work. I might get some food, go for a cigarette, or get a cup of tea, and then I'll go to bed. Sometimes I'll, watch some TV just to switch off. Sometimes I'll just listen to music, or I'll just speak to my friends, just to try and disconnect from it. But it's very, very hard to do. Very, very hard to disconnect from work. Like I find that a lot anyway. But yeah, sometimes I'll just put tranquility music on, or I'll as silly as it sounds, I'll just go onto YouTube and I'll type in like a sleep talk down, and it's like a meditation that basically talks you into sleep. And they work really well.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, if you kind of like say like I don't know, if you was like I could ask you a couple of questions now, see if I can get you out
Mm-hmm.
on on
Of
these
course.
questions. You got a boyfriend, right?
Okay. Yep.
You're watching a sad film,
Mm-hmm.
right? Would you
Mm-hmm.
cry in front of him or hide it away?
Are we talking like first date, or are we talking like in the relationship?
In the
In the
relationship. So
relationship. Probably just cry. Like if it was gonna happen, it would just happen. I wouldn't hold it back.
okay, stop there, stop there.
Okay.
Right, okay. You met this guy,
Yeah.
and on the first date you went to the
Mm-hmm.
pictures and you
Mm-hmm.
watched the sad film and you feel like crying, would you?
Mm. I probably would. I probably would, because I wouldn't be able to help myself. But I would try very hard not to.
Right. See, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Emotions, see? Because sometimes when people suffer with mental health, some people are afraid to kind of show their emotions. show about, that they got feelings,
Mhm.
And the trouble is with men, my wife's laughing at me, but with most men, what they're
Mhm.
afraid of is showing their true self because we think we're macho and all that.
Yeah. To be completely honest, right? I actually prefer men that show emotion. Like, don't get me wrong, if we were at the pictures and watching a sad film and I was on a first date with a boy and they just burst into tears, I would be surprised. I wouldn't judge, but I'd be surprised because I'd be like, oh, actually, they are intact with their
No, you
emotion.
would
They're
laugh,
not a
wouldn't you?
robot.
You would laugh. You would laugh.
No,
You're the
I would
sort of
just.
person. No, you're the sort of person coming over to me now, and you're a sort of person. You don't have to hide your face. You're the sort of person will laugh, won't you?
Um, it depends. It really, really depends. If it was, crying over something that wasn't wasn't serious, it was. I know. I feel really bad. Cry like if they were crying over something like a film, I'd be like, "Come on now, what are you doing?" Do you know what I mean? But if they were crying because they were really sad and they were really depressed, I wouldn't laugh, but I just wouldn't know what to do because I've never had that experience where a guy's just burst into tears. Do you know what I mean? So I would kind of be sat back like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Do you know what I mean? Because we're never taught that. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys are kind of just taught off the back. Oh, if a girl's crying, you've got to comfort her, you've got to give her a cuddle, you've got to make her feel better. Us girls don't get that same chat, right? We just get, they don't really cry. And I'm like, okay. Like, I have had a guy that's like burst into tears in front of me, and I'm like, they're there. I just don't know what to do in this situation. So I'm like,
What did you do there?
yeah,
Are
just
they
kind of like,
told or something?
no, I would just like, I gave them a cuddle and I was just patting their back and I was like, it'll be okay. And I'm like, I hope I'm doing this right because I don't know what I'm doing. Because I don't know, because like I've met boys that like to be comforted, and then I've met boys that would prefer like just to be left alone. So it makes it really hard for a woman. Like if you see a guy crying, you're like, do I comfort? Do I leave him? What do I do? Do you know what I mean? Because it's always mixed. It's each individual guy to themselves.
Right. Okay. Okay. A second question, right?
Okay.
This is the second question.
Okay.
This guy is just kind of like you just met this guy. He
Mhm.
takes you up for a meal,
Yep.
right? And all of a
Mhm.
sudden he says, "Oh, damn. Oh, I haven't got my wallet with me. Can you pay?"
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm doing this. I'm saying this for a reason.
Okay.
So, so what would you do?
I'd pay for it. I would, even if he had his wallet, I would have offered to pay half or pay it or whatever anyway.
Would
But
you?
if he did,
Would you actually? Would you?
Mhm. Yeah, I've done that before. If a guy is very stubborn with me and they're like, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna buy the meal. Like you're not paying for it. I'll be like, right, okay, you get this one. I'll get the next one. I don't like all the like. Don't get me wrong. If a guy offers, that's fine. Like, and I will still try and be like, listen, I don't mind like paying half of it, or I'll get it the next time. Sometimes you'll have guys that be like, no, no, it's fine. And I think like I actually had this discussion the other day. I think certain things are nice and certain things aren't nice. I wouldn't want to sit down at a meal with a boy and presume that he was going to pay for my meal. When I work, I make money just like they do. So why should my money be kept in my pocket and them spend out on it? I just don't. I just think you should offer. I've never agreed with that, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. Good. Right. What else is the other question here? All right. First one.
Hmm.
You're in the right. You're out with all your friends.
Okay.
Right.
Hmm.
You're out with all your friends having a drink. All of a
Okay.
sudden, this boy that you met the day before comes up to you,
Okay.
right? And
Hmm.
he says to you, "Oh, um, Do you fancy coming out with me on a date right now?
Okay, so the question is, would I leave my mates to go on a date with him, or would I stay with my mates? I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, of course, sure.
I'd stay with my mates. I've learned that the hard way, believe it or not. I've done the opposite and I've lost mates because of it. So I've learned now that you don't ditch your friends for a boy or a girl.
Right, okay. Good. Hang on, let me put that in that box. Right. Okay. How many more to go? Oh God. Why do they
It's
go
okay,
there?
keep firing them at me. It's fine.
No, it's okay. It's just it's a reason why I'm doing this.
Okay.
I'm not doing it for the pleasure of it. I promise you this. Four. Four. Okay. You're in a shop and this boy comes up to you, right? You look at that bracelet, right? This
Mm-hmm.
boy comes up to you and says, right, give me a kiss and I'll buy you that bracelet. Would you do it?
No. As simple as that is, no.
Okay, good. Right, okay. Five. You're in the hairdressers,
Mm-hmm.
unisex one, probably, I don't know. And this guy, I don't know what they're saying here, this guy offers you to pay for your hair.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Next minute, he waits for you outside and he says, do you fancy going for a drink? Do you? Do you say, no, thank you, but thank you for paying for my hair? Go with him for a drink or completely ignore him?
Oh, see, the option that I was going to go for isn't there. I wouldn't let the guy pay for my hair because then he already thinks that he's got a chance, right? And as a girl, you would feel like you have to go on a date because he's paid for your hair. So my option isn't
What would you
there.
do?
If I had to, I don't know. Like, what would your missus do? Because I wouldn't have a guy
What
pay
would
for my
you do?
hair.
She said, pay for her own
Thank
hair.
you, thank you. That's exactly what
Thank
my
you. That's
option
what
would
she said.
be.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
I wouldn't have a guy pay for my hair because, as I
because
say, it.
yeah, because they'd be wanting something, wouldn't they, for it?
Yep,
See?
yep.
Well done, you two. Well done. Right. Oh, that was close. That was close. Right. Okay. I love these questions. How they do it on this mental health thing. Right. Six. Here we go. This is about relationships and
Okay.
things. I should have told you about it. Six. Yeah. All right. Okay. So it's Christmas time,
Okay.
and you're out in the shop, and you see
Mhm.
this nice dress you want to buy. This bloke
Mhm.
comes up and says, "Darling, I will buy that for you." You don't even know him from Adam. He buys you a dress, right?
Mhm.
Right, and you accept, right, this dress.
Okay.
But what you go home, you don't go home with him.
Right.
You don't go home with him. He buys you the
Okay.
dress. He gives you the dress. He says, "That's for you." Don't, and it just goes away. You go home, and all of a sudden, out of in your pocket, he puts a card. Do you phone him up and say thank you? Two, offer him out on a date. Or three, ignore it and say, "Hey, wow, you just got a dress."
I know, but that's the same question as before. I wouldn't let him
What?
buy me a dress.
See? Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
To be fair, do we like?
You
It's
said
a hard
no
one.
one.
I actually love your missus. That's brilliant. I wouldn't get him to buy me a dress, though. If I wanted a dress, I'd buy it myself.
She said.
If I,
She said. She said, "I love your missus."
I
She
think
said, "Amen."
if I had to choose an option and I couldn't just go with him not buying me the dress, I would probably call him and say thank you. That would probably be it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Couple more, and that would be it. I'd, all right. Okay. What else is it? All right. Okay. I think this is going to be a good one.
Okay.
Okay. This guy, you meet this guy in a pub when you're out one day with all your friends. The following day you arrange for a date because he wants to meet your parents. All of a sudden he goes up to your parents and says, I want to marry your daughter.
That would run in the opposite direction. Is that an option?
Would you?
No.
Would you? Right?
Okay.
Would you try to shut him up? Second, 2, run. All right. 3, run into the toilet, lock the door, don't come out until he's gone.
That one. See if you went on a first date and they met your parents and was like, listen, I want to marry your daughter, I'd be like, please go.
What would you do,
it would be the third one.
Be the third one for you, would it?
Yeah. If you ask any girl that, they would say that.
Yeah. Yeah, you run away. Yeah, run away bride. Yeah. This is so funny, these questions, though. They're good, though.
That would have given me a heart attack if that happened in real life, you know. See if that ever happens, Steve. I'm just going to message you and be like, listen, I'm locked in my bathroom now and he won't leave.
That is so funny, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. This guy has won £1.5 million on the national lottery.
Yep.
You meet him at a local pub. He offers you out on a date and he says, if I give you £5 million, what? £5,000, sorry.
Right.
My eyesight, £5,000. Would you go home with him? B, arrange another date, or 3, run fast as you can?
These questions aren't that descriptive, because if he was a decent guy, I would probably just say keep your money and we'll go on a second date. Do you know what I mean? I don't really look at people with money and then decide what I should do with them. I think if he was like, listen, I'll give you $5,000 if you do this, I'd be like, nah, because he's using his money as it kind of makes a woman feel like they're a gold digger even though they aren't one. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think if somebody won the lottery and was like, listen, if I give you $5,000, you've got these 3 options, I'd be like, you can stick the $5,000 where the sun don't shine and I'll just go.
Yeah. What would you do?
Politely.
What would you do?
What if they offered you money?
Yeah.
She's going to be like, take the money and run.
Run. She said she won't do anything.
Yeah, that's the same as me. Yeah.
Okay, well done. Right, last question. Thank goodness for that. Right, okay. Here we go. Right, you're out for a meal and with all your family. This boy comes up to you and says, "Oh, you look lovely. Would you like a drink?" All of a sudden, he sits next to you on the table.
Okay.
Right? Would you tell him to go away?
Okay.
2, make up a story and say that you know him. Right?
Right.
Or 3, say it's your new boyfriend. I wanted to surprise you, mum and dad.
That would be really funny, the third one, to be honest.
God.
Again, I just probably wouldn't accept a drink. I think, do you know what? I don't trust people very much. So if someone offered me a drink, unless I'm watching them get me a drink, I wouldn't accept it. But also, I don't like the thought of somebody, as I say before, like buying you something to try and get close to you. I just think it's really awful. Like, if the big thing for me is if somebody makes me laugh and we bounce off each other, like constant with banter, that's what gets me. It's not how much money you've got in your bank or trying to offer me drinks, money, everything else that these questions have asked me this evening. So the third one would be really funny, though, to be honest. If I was sat with my parents, I'm like, oh, this is my new boyfriend.
Yeah. It could be an old man or something. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Okay. So we got what we got here. So let's work this one out. So 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Right. The result is you're a very independent woman.
Well, I would say that's pretty spot on.
You're a very independent woman.
Not me.
Well, yeah, both of you.
We both agreed on the same thing, so we're both very independent.
Yeah. There you go. Well done. But why those funny questions came up on the this mental health test? It's because what happened is that a lot of people who kind of like suffer depression, or they go home and they're soppy, and because
Yep.
they're split with their boyfriend, say, or relationships or anything, the questions were made up because this is what happens in real life sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Of course
And
it does. Yeah.
yeah, and what they wanted to do is just to make a bit of fun out of it and find out how you would react and what your attitude is about it. See, that's what they wanted
I've
to do.
not come across very nice on this.
No,
I sound very unapproachable.
Well, I did one earlier. And mine was what was it? Stephen, your results were 4. You are not very popular chap, are you? Who cares?
Exactly. See, I'm not going to lie. Since I've been single, I've had people like, oh, if I take you for a meal, do you fancy doing something? And I'm like, no. Like, no thanks. I'll buy my own food. Thank you. Don't get me wrong, right? I like the whole chivalry thing, right? The opening doors for you, the being polite, the walking on the side of the road and things like that. And I was actually having this chat the other day because I know feminism is such a big thing. Like, we want equality. And this is what comes up a lot in conversation. See if a girl's like, oh, I like chivalry. I like you opening the door for me. And I like you doing this. And I like you doing that. A guy's argument is, you ask for equality. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, but that doesn't mean that you stop being polite. Like, I like the chivalry, but I also like the fact of, if we go out for a meal, it's normal for me to go, we'll split it, or I'll get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a very mixed thing. This is one thing that I've been feeling like the last couple of weeks is just, unfortunately, chivalry's kind of gone out the window. You're lucky if you get somebody that like opens the door or, stands on the side of the road. As stupid as it sounds, it's free. Do you know what I mean? It's just one thing that like girls have been like, oh, from mums and stuff. Oh, it's really nice if guys do this and guys do that. And like even my mum now, believe it or not, she's like, if you go on a first date with a boy, they should pay for the meal. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. And I will just stop her mid-conversation. I'll be like, I don't agree with that. I'm like, if he pays for the first meal, my answer will be, okay, I'll pay for the next one. Or at least let me buy dessert or let me buy drinks. Like, I'll do anything to try and make it equal. And I think that's what made me laugh in a lot of those questions, because it was like, if a guy does this, or if a guy offers you this, and I'm not going to lie, there is girls that would probably answer that question, be like, oh, if a guy's going to buy me a dress, yes, I'll accept it. If a guy pays for my hair, I'll accept it. If a guy does this and this and this, I'll accept all of it. But guys like that sometimes expect more because they've done it.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the stuff that I don't like.
And that's what I was just about to mention. That's what I was just about to say. And you got it in one. About that. See, because people's attitude changes about different things. People are so different. All right.
Well, let's put it this way, right? I went on a night out with my friends when I was about 19, and this guy, again, I was a lot younger back then, bought all my drinks all night. Like, I watched him, he didn't spike it or anything. See, at the end of the night, he went, seeing as I've been buying all your drinks, are you coming home with me tonight? And I was like, no. And he's like, but I've bought all your drinks tonight. And I was like, well, that was your choice. It's my choice now, and I'm not coming home with you. Do you know what I mean? So it's that presumption that if somebody buys you something or if somebody gives you something, you need to give them something back.
So this guy, you went out. This guy was buying you drinks all night, and you never went back with him. Well, that's yeah. Why not? You know, I remember when I was younger. You know, I bought this girl some drinks one day, and and she said she was going to the toilet, and she cracked at the window. So
yeah, it happens. It happens.
It happens. It does happen. But
that's why I don't accept drinks off anyone anymore. See, if someone comes up to me and they're like, "Oh, do you fancy a drink?" I'm like, "No, I'm all right, thanks. Just buy my own."
You've got to be so careful, aren't you? So there you go. Well, you know, but well done for those questions because, you know, many people, you know, different. It's about all attitudes and about decisions that you're going to make, and some people under what was it, 80% out of 100 women under the age of 25 will probably say yes to most of those questions.
That's insane.
Honestly, so well done for that.
I'm old up here.
And wise, yeah, well done, Michelle. Yeah, so there you go. So all I'm trying to say about it is it all fits in with mental health. It's all about decision making, about, you know, you've got to be wise and everything. And sometimes when we feel low and everything, sometimes we make decisions that.
I was just about to say that. See us women, right? Obviously under 25, and that's saying that quite a lot of women would say yes. If I'm being honest, I'm a little bit different than most. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm overly confident about myself because I'm not. But see, when you are depressed and you have no confidence and this guy will show you attention and give you all this stuff, it does feel good, which is why a lot of those questions would be yes, because you feel like somebody's paying attention. You feel like somebody's being nice. Do you know what I mean? And there is times that I've had that done myself where I'm like, oh, do you know what? Somebody's giving me this attention. Like, I really like it. And, you know, it's escalated and things have happened. And then all of a sudden it stops. And to be fair, like at quite a young age, you know, it is a big thing, confidence and attention. I'm not going to say this for all girls, but me especially, right? When I broke up with my first partner, and the reason that I split up with my partner was, one, he cheated on me, but two, I started a new job and I was getting a lot of male attention. So I knew then, do you know what? I don't need to keep this person that's cheated on me because I have all this other male attention that I can have. And these other boys would be buying me drinks and buying me food and making sure that I had stuff. And if I needed anything, they would get it. And like, I'm talking like I was 18, 19 at this point. And, you know, if like those questions were asked to me back then, my answers would have been completely different. Do you know what I mean? It took me to get to 22 and going through different relationships to turn around and go, do you know what? I earn my own money. I work for my money. Why would I want somebody else buying me something and then putting me in a position where they want something back?
But that's what happens, Tulsi. That's what really happens in life, and we've got to be so careful. And that's why, you know, people, you know, get really depressed, get really low. So that's why.
Yep.
All right. But thank you very much for that.
No worries.
Thank you for the. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a bit of.
It was good. It was funny, but it was good.
Yeah, it was funny, but the trouble is, so it's kind of like it's kind of wake people up, you know, right? Okay, where's the questions we got? Oh God, on the radio.
It is scary to think that 80% of women under 25 would say yes to those questions, though.
Yeah, but because they're young, probably, right? They're probably young. They're not making a good wage, probably. Sorry. Got a message here. Is that for you?
Oh, Ebony. Yeah. Hi, Ebony. That's the one I went out shopping with before.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So what's the questions here we got? Right. Okay. So The first question is, that was very funny, Steve. That was really good. Can you send me the link for those tests? Yeah, I will do. Yeah. Hi, Steve. Those Megan and your wife, they are right. They're so funny. Well done. Megan, don't worry about men. The right one will come along one day for you.
Oh, thank you.
Megan, you're so funny. Well done for coming on to the show. The second time
Okay.
I saw you, I think you're very funny. I don't
I
know how you
try.
part. I don't know how you part up with Steve. He's a mad one, but we all love him. Thank you very much. Of
We're all mad. If he wasn't mad, then it would be boring.
course it will, wouldn't it? Of course
Exactly.
it will. Yeah. Megan asked me she doesn't need a man. That's correct. That's good. Yeah.
My scores was I'm independent. I don't need no man.
Yeah. Yeah. Her scores was independent, so she doesn't need a
Mm.
man.
Oh,
Well done, though. What else is it we got to do? Okay. Steve, I'm getting married soon. How long have you been married, and how do you cope all these years? Oh gosh, what's it? 8 years? Is it 8 years ago? I think it's about 8 years. We're going to be married this year. How do I put up with my wife? No, it's the other way around. My
I
wife.
was waiting for you to get smacked there.
Very funny, you. Very funny. But I've got to be so careful. See, number one, the woman's in charge of the house, right? But
No, he's not the boss. No. The women wears the pants.
yes, I'm the boss. Yeah, but don't tell her that. Did you hear
In your
that?
dreams. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, guys. No, yeah, I think what it is, she does a wonderful job, and love her to bits, and that's it. And when you got the right woman, you're okay. Why go and have a affair? It's not worth it. At the end of the day, if you're in love with somebody, then
Oh,
you've
that's
got to love
cute.
them back. In it,
That's cute. That's relationship goals, that.
like this relationship goes. And I tell you what, Megan, I hope you meet somebody and
So
they
do
love
I.
you because yeah, um, or you might have to love, your friend instead.
Yeah, well, she is my backup. She is my backup. She's going to
Well,
message
that's
me in a
another
minute. What do
subject.
you
That's another
mean?
subject. That's another subject.
What do you mean? Oh. No,
Oh, this is
do you know what? I actually had I had a conversation with someone the other day who's been with their partner for 35 years, right?
yeah.
And I always loved the idea of being with someone for life, like back in the day when people were married for like 60, 70 years. But see, the only thing that really worries me about that is how do they not get bored of each other after that long? Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I know you can love somebody, and I know
Look,
that,
see,
but
it's give and take, isn't it? What happens is like I knew Michelle from school,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So but she was good up with my friend of mine, and I was good up with her friend. So
Okay.
we didn't come together until the school reunion. So, but the trouble with us is that we we get on so well, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? She does her thing, I do my thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. But I know people who's been married 60 years. And that's because since you love somebody and you want to be with somebody, then you
Hmm.
don't need anybody else. And why does men want to go out there and have affairs?
Yeah. I don't know,
Why?
Steve. Don't know. Don't
Why?
know. I've had it happen to myself. I don't know.
But why? Why? Because people. The trouble is with people is, especially young men or young boys, they
It's
don't
so
know what
easy
they.
now.
Yes, and
It's
they
too
don't know
easy.
what they. Yes, and then I bet you now he's kind of like he's looking at himself and he's thinking, "Oh bugger me, I think I lost a good one there.
Exactly. But no, to be honest, I think social media plays a big part nowadays. I'm really bad for social media, right? But see, like now, like I have gone on a couple of dates, right, with this person, and he seems like a really decent guy. But because I've been so hurt in the past, like I can't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. And I think that's really something that's hard, especially with social media, because, you see that they're active and then you're like, oh my God, they're active, but they've not messaged me. Or I can see, for example, Snapchat, right? I don't know if you've got Snapchat or ever used Snapchat, but Snapchat, every time you send a Snapchat, your score goes up. So what would happen is you would look at their score. An hour later, you would look at their score and their score had changed. And then you'd be sat there going, how has their score changed when they haven't messaged me? And it would end up sending you psychotic, right? That's the problem now.
Yeah.
It is way too easy to cheat.
Of course it is. Are you, before I finish, are you sort of a jealous person?
I can be, but it depends. I don't always tend to go to jealousy. I'm not that kind of person, but certain things can get me very wound up. I don't like to share, let's put it that way. So see, like in the first stage of like meeting somebody and going on dates, like I don't like the idea of that person then going on a date with someone else. I don't think that's jealousy. I think that's more because I'm trying to protect myself, because I fall quite quickly for people. So the problem is I fall quite quick, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I actually really like this person. But then my head will do like somersaults and it'll be like, oh my God, what's happening if they're going on a date with other people and they're doing exactly the same thing? And that's when my jealousy kicks in.
Yeah. But the trouble is, don't let some, well, I ain't supposed to say it on here, but I will. Don't let some dickhead who has hurt you spoil your
Yes.
future relationships with other people, because
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've got to look after yourself. And
Yeah.
all right.
Yes. Yes.
Good. Let me know when you're getting married, then I can come along.
Imagine we text you next week. He's coming over to my parents' house later, and I'm just like locked in the bathroom, not going well.
Yeah, and your friends kicking the door down.
Yeah.
He wants to take you away. Okay, guys.
My mum would just be like, just take her.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Brilliant. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. I'm going to be back in the gym bit. And I've got 2 more to do tonight, and we've got more tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you very much. That was so funny. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys. See you in a bit.